Welcome everyone to Stew Outdoors. I'm your host, Doug Stewart. Today we'll be heading to the fly tying vise to build the Florida Shiner Fly. Thanks for joining us. Okay, here's our finished Shiner Fly. These are the materials we will be using today. The sculpting flash in tan, sculpting flash in olive, peacock herl. The hook we're going to tie on is the Gamakatsu SL11-3H in size 1. Thread is going to be the Vivis PB2 in 140, as well as UTC 140 in olive, using some white lead dumbbell eyes, along with some clear ice braid from Hardline Dubbing. Also, we'll be using the Solarez UV Cure Bone Dry, as well as the Solarez Thin Hard Formula, also UV light activated. A couple tools. Already got the Gamakatsu in the vise, so let's get one tied on. Okay, here we go with the Florida Shiner Fly. We're going to start out with our white Vivis thread. Go ahead and take this all the way to the hook bend. Doesn't have to be real close, tight wraps. Now we're going to add our ice braid. Get that tied on. Bring your hook thread back up close to the hook eye. Then go ahead and wrap your ice braid tightly, closely together, forming the belly of the fly. Don't worry about it being real smooth. The UV resin is going to smooth that out for us. And go ahead and get that tied off. Turn your excess. A few more wraps. We're going to bring it back right about there. Let's go ahead and add our lead dumbbell eyes. A little easier if you turn the hook over. Get those tied on. Get a few wraps on it. Check your alignment. Top and bottom. Front, rear. Go ahead and cinch it down good and tight. This Vivis thread is quite strong, so don't be afraid to pull on it hard. A few wraps around here. Tie it down good and tight. And bring it close to the hook eye. We're going to go ahead and whip finish out of this right now because we're going to change thread colors to our olive. So go ahead and whip out of that. This is when I used the Solarez thin hard formula. I go ahead and coat our body or belly section. Go a little bit beyond your material. It's going to make the fly very durable. Around the eyes. Go ahead and smooth it out. Make sure you got a good coating throughout. We're going to go ahead and hit it with our UV light. Doesn't take long. A lot better than back in the day when we had two-part epoxies. We had to wait hours sometimes for it to dry. Good and dry. Okay, now we're going to rethread our bobbin with our UTC olive. Don't have one of these bobbin threading tools, suggest you get one. Go ahead and start with our olive thread. That's securely started there. Build our olive head color. Now we're going to use the sculpting flash in tan. We're going to double it up, so you want about half as much. You pull it off as you're going to have in the finished fly. Hold it over. Clean out the stragglers. We want this about twice the length of the hook shank. Go ahead and get that started. Again, we want to pull her tight. Move your excess. That's securely tied down. Now we're going to add our sculpting flash olive. I could use a little bit less than I do of the tan. Maybe make this slightly longer than your tan. It out. Go ahead and get that securely tied on. Just about back to your lead eyes. Trim that off. Finish finish your tie down with tight wraps. Kind of start forming your head at this point. I like a little bit darker back on my flies. I found out the peacock herl works quite good for that. Got 4 or 5 strands here. Put that right on top. Try to keep it all on top. Trim your excess. Tie down securely. Go ahead and form your head. I like to leave a little bit of the peacock herl showing through my head. Kind of looks more like the natural shiner fly. Now I'm going to whip finish out of this. Like so. I'm going to add the bone dry formula. Penetrates through the fibers quite well and makes an extremely hard, durable head for your fly. Kind of smoothing out your thread. Some spins. Hit it with your light. There you have it. The Florida shiner fly. Very effective fly. Great action in the water. These fibers work great. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you on the water. Thanks. I'm Doug Stewart.